The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Turn 3 Racing Network, as tonight we are here at the big, bad, fast Lady in Black, lady that is no other, Talladega Superspeedway. She's big, she's fast, she's wide, she is everything that a racing driver can dream of. And we are here tonight for round 1 of the opening race of the playoffs. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is KR Stolfus, and I hope you all are excited as I am to go racing here tonight. And in the booth with me is my good buddy, Dave Worrell. Dave, how you doing out there tonight?
As always, KR doing good. Glad to be back with the OP Racing Superspeedway Series. These guys just entering the chase, so I'm going to look to see if they're a little bit more aggressive tonight when they come out, or if some of these chase drivers are going to kind of hang back, maybe wait until into stage 2 or so to heat things up. Either way, pretty sure they're going to give us one heck of a show.
We're going to see great racing all night long here as these drivers will enter in round 1 of the playoffs. It is, well, it's the playoffs, baby. Time to get busy. We see some practice here. We're going to switch over into qualifying. Already things happening very quickly here. 10 minutes for qualifying. And we're going to bring in the first car out on the track. When they come out on the track, that is going to be the 8 machine of Cody Ober. He starts to accelerate and gain some speed here. The 8. Cody Ober, well, I'll tell you what, Cody having a season that maybe he's not too thrilled about, but he is out here going to try and make the most of it here tonight.
Also out just a short distance behind Cody is the 04 of Mark Mann. You know I'm going to spotlight him driving that Batman machine. I got to say it each and every week, Carol, man. I love that car, dude. Love it.
Well, my trading paints is not paving properly at the moment. We'll see if we can't get some of these paint schemes to load back in here as we try and work on this. You guys will have to excuse me as I apologize. Trying to get all of this updated. But yeah, it seems like all my Chevy drivers, their trading paints are not loading right now. That stinks. There's some good paint jobs out there on those Chevy Camaros.
Yeah, we don't want to be showing too much of them Ford Mustangs out there tonight, so hopefully them Chevys pop up for you.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Nice, so we'll work on it. But Dave, while I work on this behind the scenes, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on in qualifying here?
All right, trying to, let me see. It doesn't look like anybody's actually put a position down yet, so no driver's making a full-time lap just yet. Cody Levitt in the 38 is leaving pit road for his up to speed lap. Looks like Cody Ober in the 8 finally posted his lap, top of the board, of course, being the first one out. Mark Mann in the 04 on his second lap, hugging that yellow line like we're gonna see here through the corners. Interesting to see him work up to that third lane near the wall going down the back stretch here on this second lap. Usually you would want to be just hugging that yellow line the entire way down the back stretch and into turn 3 and all the way back around to the line. The line is a little bit further than normal. That's what makes this track unique, KR. So, I mean, these drivers, when they come off the corner, they still have, I don't know, probably a good half mile or so just to get back to the line. James Mayer taking the top spot as we look now. Mark Mann to the top of the board with that unorthodox second lap. Looking back now further into the pack, looks like Rick Seabrands is out on his flying lap now. Gonna cross the line to begin his first time lap. Rick, one of the, I guess Richard Petty of OP Racing, most career wins in the league, so he knows how to get it done. He finds himself in the championship hunt, only slotting in 11th with that first time lap. There you see him running the bottom now through 1 and 2. Will he drift up like the 04 did? No, he stays right at that yellow line. So he may have a shot at taking that provisional pole away from the 04 of Mark Mann, who still has that on lock right now.
Josh Milam in the 7 machine. He is going to post a third quick time as he shuts it down. And then Les Levy in the 62 machine. He is going to end up moving up into second place. He pulls off the track. A few other drivers out on track. The 11, a Chase Swery. He's out turning laps. Right now he is in 14th place on the speed chart. You may
Alliance Motorsports there, KR, locking out the top row, the front row.
Yeah, Rick Seabrands moves into second, but you might see some Dash C's and some Dash R's. The R's represent rookies. The C's represent chase contenders, and our chase drivers will also have a green front splitter if my Training Paints loads correctly. As we look at Cody Levitt in the 38 machine, you can see he's got the green eyebrow and the green splitter. Those are your chase drivers. That is their call out for that. Hunter Reynolds in the 26, another chase driver. He is out on track right now. Uh-oh. Ignore that. My bad. So many problems, so little time.
I understand. Derek Connolly in that 28, one of your chase drivers coming across the line. I believe that will be his first time lap. No, looks like it's his up to speed lap still, so he's up there near the outside wall trying to get as much momentum he can built up through this entire first lap. Christian Walker also out on track. Mike Schultz also 116, rookie out there on track right now trying to put down a few laps, see where he can shake out in qualifying.
Yeah, Mike Schultz has had some sparks here in his rookie season. Someone that I look to see improve greatly in his sophomore season. And by sparks, I mean we see some brilliant flashes of light, some talent, not necessarily polished to its full gleaming capability. But Mike Schultz in that 116 really does seem to improve week in and week out. We'll see what he's got in store for drivers here in the playoffs. Maybe he might sneak up and steal one of these wins away from a chase contender. But yeah, a driver I'm looking forward to next season would be that 116 of Mike Schultz. The timer counting down, 2 minutes, 50 seconds left here in qualifying. Hunter Reynolds on top of the speed chart still. Mark Mann in the 04 finds himself sitting in second. Scott Bellum moving into third. Thomas Gold in fourth. And rounding out your top 5 for qualifying will be the 4 machine of Rick Seabrands. And Dave, these drivers, they all already know this is round 1, fight 1 of the playoffs. Everyone's trying to punch up and get that win to cement themselves into the next round. But we have more than just 13 drivers out on the track. We've already had 23 drivers take a qualifying time. That means any one of these 23 drivers has a chance to win here tonight.
Yeah, and that's another great and unique aspect of racing is when it's playoff time, it's not just you and the guys you're in the playoffs with. Everybody is still out there trying to win. The drivers that have just fell short from making the chase, they're out there trying to prove a point that maybe they should have been in the chase. So that gives them a little bit of extra drive, if you will, to try to prove that point. Then you got the guys in the chase that, you know, want to assert their dominance early in the run to the championship.
All right, guys, it looks like all the drivers are qualifying that are going to qualify. That means we're going to step away for our national anthem. Please join us. We honor this country.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As the drivers are starting to take to the grid, that means time to go through our starting lineup here tonight. Row number 1, Hunter Reynolds, establishing dominance early, putting that car on pole position. A chase driver lockout for row number 1. Hunter Reynolds saying, I'm the guy to beat here tonight, getting it done with a 52.066 lap time. Mark Mann in the 04 gonna wind up on the outside of row number 1 with a 52.070. Row number 2 gonna be Scott Bellum in the 07 and Thomas Gould in the 97 machine on the outside. Row number 3, Rick Seabrands in the 4 and Les Levy in the 62 on the outside of row number 3. Row 4, Sean McCarrick in the 52 machine and Derek Conley in the 28. Row 5, Anthony English in the 40 and Josh Milam in the 7 machine on his outside.
Row number 6, the 8 of Cody Ober, 35 of Doug Rice. Row number 7, the 11 of Chase Berry, the 12 of Tristan Walker. Row number 8, the 02 of David Overstreet, followed by the 95 of James Mayer. Row number 9, Will Weber in the 24, followed by the 77 of David Booth. Row 10, 38 of Cody Levitt, the 116 of Mike Schultz.
Row number 11 will be the 10 of Robert Dubendak and the 15 of Alex Green. Row 12 will be Nate DeFayette in the 9 machine and the 51 of Travis Elliott starting outside. Well, row 13 will be the 84 of Aspen Belvin and the 89 of Ken McCullough Jr. Row 14 will be David McCullough, bringing up the tail end of our starting lineup, and Mark Vega in the 1, dedicating his night to race control here. And Mark, we appreciate that so very much, as that is our starting lineup for tonight's field. 27 drivers to bring you racing excitement here on Monday night, opening round of the playoffs for the OP Racing Superspeedway Series. And oh man, this is going to be great racing all night long. Stage number 1 gonna end on lap 20 when they cross the start finish line. 20 laps here to send a message. Who's it gonna be? Mark Mann, Hunter Reynolds, or maybe one of these other drivers that is here in this field, anyone has the chance to make their mark in OP racing history. How's it going to play out? Well, we're about to find out in 94 laps, maybe a few more with a green-white checkered attempt coming into play. We'll just have to wait and see. Hunter Reynolds in control of the field for a long delay to the green flag. And there we go. We are underway here tonight at Talladega as Hunter Reynolds, Mark Mann going side by side into turn number 1. That 07 machine is Scott Bellum. He is someone to watch here tonight, man on a mission, if I have anything to say about it, and I don't. We'll see what that 07 has in store for this field as he is pushing Hunter Reynolds down the backstretch. They are starting to open up a little bit there as you see Mark Mann and the 97 machine of Thomas Gould not able to keep pace with that inside line just yet.
Yeah, surprisingly, the 97 was on the rear bumper of the 04, just not able to make up any ground for that entire first lap. Now you see him starting to surge forward just a little bit as they work their way back to turn 1, still doubled up almost the entire field. Mark Mann starting to inch a little bit further out front. Not by much though. That inside line starting to come back once again, being led by the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. There is a lot of chase contenders. Moved to the bottom by Mann in Gold. That's gonna leave, I believe that is Derek Connolly out there leading that outside lane, KR.
That is actually the 62 of Les Levy. That's all right. They're all running so close, it's hard to make out who is where. But yeah, we're on board with the 04 of Mark Mann. Looking out the back of this hungry field. They ain't hippos out there. These are lean, mean racing machines. And every single one of these drivers has one thought on their mind. I got to survive 94 laps and pull off a race win. Hunter Reynolds making the move to the outside. Will he start building some momentum down the backstretch and make a move back to the front of this field?
Question is, does Mark Mann go up? No, he stays to the bottom, sticking to the guns on the bottom lane right now. I was just wanting to see if maybe these chase drivers are wanting to just stay up front, because if you're in first, you're less likely to be in the wreck, right?
Well, yes and
right?
no. I mean, it is super speedway racing. You can crash at any time that your foot is on the throttle and not the brake. You know what? Pit road is safe. If you're in your pit stall, you're not moving, maybe behind the pit wall, maybe that's when you don't crash.
Or you've already crashed. Either way, starting to look and see a third line beginning to develop out there. It's only Nate DeFayette and I believe that is Robert Duvendak in tow. So looks like some guys getting ready to try to make it a little dicey up there.
Yeah, third line trying to form up. We now have 3 drivers. Oh, big contact through the tri-oval. Chase Sweary hard into Nate DeFayette. Caution flag gonna come out as we have a lot of drivers facing the wrong way at the moment. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay. Let's figure out what happened here. Chase Sweary in the 11 going through the tri-oval. Nate DeFayette, Will Weber, Robert Duvendak on the high side. Cody Over with a good run, trying to make it 4 wide. Him and David Overstreet gonna slam down into pit lane inside wall. Heavy contact there with those two. We go on board. You can see a big checkup there by the field of David Overstreet to Cody Ober's right. And we are under caution for the first time here tonight. And what could be a tough opening lap or opening segment for several of our drivers here.
Yeah, it looked like that third lane was starting to develop, KR, and just someone wasn't ready, I guess. And it happens, but it's gonna make for a long night, long night. Still about 89, 90 laps left for some of these drivers. Not sure if some of them are going to use the fast repair. I believe some have no choice. But is that going to change the racing?
Yeah, if you're damaged now, you do not want to use your fast repair. You need to hold that as long as possible. The drivers here do have one fast repair available to use. No tires for the 04, the 26. Almost everyone electing to take fuel only. And Mark Mann going to be our race winner off of pit road. Anthony English in the 40 machine, not stopping on pit lane. He is going to gain a ton of track position. He's going to go from 12th to 1st by doing that. So a good call on his part. We'll see if this works out for him. He will have to make one more stop on fuel. I do not think he can make it to the end of stage 1 with the help of this caution.
Yeah, I don't believe gas is going to come into factor here, so these drivers should just lay it all out there. But once again, it's still a long way to go. But if you're a chase driver, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to lay in the back and try not to let something happen or not to run into something, or if I want to run up front and try to not be the something. I don't know. I'd have to have a smart crew chief, because I don't know if I can make a call.
Well, I'll tell you what, all you can do is just go out there, pretty much go as hard as you feel you can, or as long as you can, and see what happens there. Pretty much my strategy in a situation like this is I'm going to hit everything but the pace car and let the ambulance sort it out.
I'm either bringing home a flag or a wheel at the end of this thing. I just don't know how I'd get to the end.
Tell you what, a good philosophy I live by is wide open till you see God, then brake.
Yeah, I'd probably be broke.
All right, Anthony English is going to peel off for pit road. That will give the top spot to the 04 of Mark Mann in the Batmobile. Ford Mustang pace car here tonight. Might stay on. So guys, we're going to step away for a minute. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the driver's starting to form up behind the pace car. Lights have gone out on that Ford butt stain. That can only mean it needs to hit pit road for service once again. A whole bunch of electrical issues going on inside that pale, pitiful machine. Someone really needs to tell these OP Racing guys that the Chevy Silverado is where it is at for the pace car. But I am just a lowly broadcaster. I know Dave shares my sentiment, but man, one of these days we'll get OP to put the Silverado out there.
Well, we almost got what we wanted. I mean, there was that one time at band camp where they put the Porsche out there for us.
Yeah, we did have the Porsche, which was a market upgrade and pace car material, but seems we have digressed, and it is what it is. Unfortunately, that is beyond our control here at Turn 3 Racing Network. Don't blame us for seeing that ugly Ford butt stain. We have voiced our concerns and opinions, and there it goes. It is going to hit pit road this time. Probably going to need some tires. Probably going to need new spark plugs. Good luck getting them out of there. Here we go. Mark Mann in the 04, the 26, 100 Reynolds. Our front runners have swapped positions for this restart. Long wait here at Talladega for the green flag. Mark Mann keeping them in check. Green flag is out, and we're back underway here to finish lap 8, start lap 9. Remember, stage 1 is going to end on lap 20. Side by side, they head into turn number 1. Mark Mann with the advantage by a car, as Hunter Reynolds going to start building some momentum. He has a solid pusher behind him. That is the 62 of Les Levy. They work their way down the backstretch. Drivers trying to find a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of clean air on their radiators, but the 97 of Thomas Gould pushing as hard as he can on that 04. You see the 07 of Scott Bellum not able to suck up to the back of the 97 just yet. That shows you just how hard Gould is pushing Mann at the moment.
Surprising to see that almost tandem draft push the 04 of Mark Mann back around the 26, who was surging with, I believe it was 4 cars at the time. Now Tristan Walker and David Booth have joined that outside lane. Inside lane also has gathered up a little bit more cars. On that restart, they were kind of spread out a little bit, and I was very surprised to see those 2 cars work as well as they did against that line on the outside. So I wonder if any of them are going to try some tandem stuff at all.
Got 3 wide towards the back. Cody Ober, Anthony English trying to make something happen there. But Mark Mann in the 04 going to come around and lead another lap in tonight's event. So Mark Mann, pace contender, saying if you guys want around me, you are going to have to work for it tonight. Hunter Reynolds in the 26 on the outside lane saying, I will rise to this challenge. Les Levy in the 62 saying, hey guys, don't forget I am still here. The 62 machine now shoves the 26 to the front by a tire. Through turns 3 and 4. Everyone's staying single file, 2 by 2 they go. Starting to get a little bit of a wiggle there in that outside lane. That might cost them just a bit of momentum.
I also noticed that lap, Mark Mann actually staying about a half a car length or so up off of that yellow line, almost forcing that outside lane a little bit higher, not able to utilize the run off of that banking down into the backstretch to get the big runs that they normally do. That also closes up that middle lane that a lot of people like, so you're going to have to go the long way around if you want to get around Hunter Reynolds or Mark Mann. But I think Mark Mann moving up is more of a strategy deal to run those cars a little bit higher let them use a little bit more tires, a little more fuel. They're going to get a little bit looser, I believe.
I do want to point out that for whatever reason, Trading Paints not sharing the love with Rick Sebren's, normally running a blue and white Yeti paint scheme. Tonight he is running an iRacing paint scheme for us. And man, only so much we can do with what we are blessed with. And unfortunately, Rick Sebren's being the one that sold short on the paint scheme here tonight. Got Bellum in front of him right now. That 07 chase contender along with Rick Sebren's. A lot of our chase drivers now finding themselves up in the top 11. Cody Levitt in the 38 machine finding himself in 15th spot. And the Levitt machine, he's got a lot of work to do, and he is someone who likes to hang out at the back and kind of wait for an opportunity to strike. We'll see what this 38 has in store for us. We've still got a long way to go. However, he is not the lowest running chase driver at the moment. That belongs to Travis Elliott in the 51, as we got more cars going down the backstretch. Sideways goes the 12 machine. A chase driver already spinning. More chase drivers getting involved. Everyone coming to a stop. Aspen Belvin pulling a full Donnelly move right there as the 97 of Thomas Gould facing the wrong way. Let's break this down. Let's figure out what happened here. As Les Levy looks like he got turned. 7 of Josh Milam going around. Cody Levitt in the 38 looks like he got through. Derek Conley getting involved in that. Alex Green in the 15 machine caught up in it.
Yeah, KR, that just looked like a bump draft gone wrong. Looked like he was a little bit, wow, he was a little bit too far to the left, and that's kind of what caused it all. A ton of cars, man. Ton of cars sliding and damaged. Some pretty bad. Some not as bad, but that's another big hit for these drivers.
Big shakeup down the backstretch. Take one more look at it here. A lot of torn up race cars. Unfortunately, we're already on lap 15. Man, that took out quite a few chase contenders.
Yeah, there was a big group of them running right there together, and whew, it's an uphill battle now.
All right, so Mark Mann in the 04 does not come down pit road. First driver to hit pit road, though. That is the 52 Sean McCarrick, Anthony English, Josh Milam, all into their pit stalls. 77 of David Booth into his pit box and out. He had to use a fast repair to get his machine back going. A lot of fast repairs being used by these drivers in this early stage number 1. McCarrick, no fast repair on that machine. He hammered out some damage and got rolling. But the big winner here is a 04 of Mark Mann and the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. These two drivers have been the class of the field for 16 laps so far. They have held on in the top spots for this race.
That's all part of one of those strategies. If you're up front, you should miss it. And you've seen Mark Mann make a big move there to get to the bottom. Hunter Reynolds has been stuck on that outside trying to get around him. So that first and second position is prize territory at this point in time in the race.
Yeah, the 04 and the 26, they are giving each other a lot of racing room, and it is proving to be hard to get around these two. No one has anything for them just yet. Scott Bellum in the 07, though, he finds himself still behind 04, but Scott, one of those drivers, he doesn't make flashy moves, he doesn't make a whole lot of noise, but towards the end of the race, you'll find him somewhere inside the top 10. He has earned that green front splitter and eyebrow this season. I, for one, I'm kind of rooting for the underdogs here tonight. I'd love to see Scott Bellum win it, but man, we are seeing a lot of drivers get taken out. This last incident has seen 3 drivers go behind the wall already.
But fortunately for these chase drivers, they are looking over at the timing and scoring, and it looks like the majority of them are all within the top 10 or 11 positions. I believe there's only one driver, the 116 of Mike Schultz, who is not a chase contender, that is up there in that top 10.
Lights go out on the Ford butt stain. We have lost 3 drivers in that incident. Ooh, we're in stage 1, and we already have 3 drivers out. Fortunately, all of our chase contenders are still out there. They're all still running very much so at the front of the pack. One driver, though, that we're going to keep an eye on, that is the 28 of Derek Conley. Excuse me. He finds himself mired deep in the pack here for this restart.
And I look to see some of the same that we've seen on the last 2 restarts, and that is Mark Mann and Hunter Reynolds pretty much just lead this thing and battle it out between themselves. Don't think any of these drivers are going to be too quick to jump 3 wide here on this restart, but we are coming to that stage in, KR, so you never know what to expect. Hopefully that broken Ford moves out the way soon.
All right, we have a bit of an internet issue for the moment. Give me just a second, guys, as we get ready to go back. Green flag racing looks like it has settled back down. Not sure what was going on there. I apologize for that. Here we go. Restart here, taking shape. Mark Mann, Hunter Reynolds, not willing to give up the top spots just yet. Once again, they are in front of the field. Green flag flying. We're back underway. And the yellow flag going to come out right away.
I believe Sean McCarrick spun his tires on that restart, KR.
All right, I am not sure what happened, but yeah, it looks like the 7 and the 52 having some problems getting rolling. Take a look at this restart here.
No. Was that Aspen Delvin maybe? I had a red car. I can't see the number, KR, from where I'm standing here, but it was a red car that spun the tires and into the outside wall on that restart.
I don't know, man. I was desperately looking at what was going on with my internet here.
Yeah, I do believe it was 84. Spun the tires a little bit, yeah.
All right, we'll take one more look at this here. As this is why is tonight being so different? Yeah, the 84 hard into the wall. David Booth in the 77, Sean McCarrick. And Dave, I'm going to let you take over for a minute.
All right, trying to jump back on board with the leaders right now, trying to find it, KR, because my stuff is not acting correct either. But either way, Hunter Reynolds being shown as the leader. Scott Dillon coming around now, actually taking that lead away. I guess scoring was not up to speed just yet. Working under caution once again here. Lap 20 out of 94. This may be the end of the stage here for tonight's race, as we were scheduled to have stage 1 at 20 laps here. So gonna wait and have to see if we can get confirmation from race control if this is gonna be the end of the stage. Let's see how everything shakes out coming off of pit road as well. Field still trying to catch up to the pace car. Been about, I don't know, about a lap before they were able to catch up with that thing. So GPS on the Ford Mustang isn't working properly either. Imagine that. But anyways, Scott Bellum now being scored as your race leader. Looks like, yes, we do have confirmation now that that will be the end of stage number 1. And Scott Bellum is going to take the stage win for stage number 1. He's going to lead these cars down pit road. I believe everybody will be coming with him. But we'll have to wait just a second here and keep our eye on it till we can try to catch a word with Scott Bellum. That's going to help him out in his quest to raise that championship trophy at the end of the season. Looks like we had 2 cars stay out at this point in time. I do believe those are cars that are laps down. Anthony English, one of those drivers, electing to actually stay out. That was David McCullough and Anthony English pitted under that last caution. So they elect to stay out. They will take the lead of the field. Scott Bellum does lead the cars that pitted off of pit road. He will restart in the 3rd position. Wait for him to come up on track so he doesn't have to worry about blend line while he's trying to hit a button to talk to us here.
I think he can handle that slow and steady pace that he's got right now. Let's see if we can't get him up here and get a word in with the driver of the 07 machine. Scott Bellum, you got your ears on, my friend?
Hey, what's up, KR?
Man, oh man, stage 1 win going to you, making a statement here in the opening round of the playoffs, winning the first opportunity at points. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with your race car here tonight.
Just playing the game here, trying to stay up front, try and stay clean, not get caught up in any wrecks or anything. That's the big thing right now. I didn't come in with any bonus points. Rick was the only one, so getting these stage wins and stage points is a big deal.
Well, the 07 machine had a solid qualifying showing, and here you are winning stage number 1. What's it going to take to win stage 2?
I think just finding a good partner to stay linked up with, stay in the draft. You get somebody that can push, or you can push them, and they'll help you out. You can really stay up here and kind of control what's going on.
All right, Scott. Well, man, we're going to let you give any shout outs or thank you can before we let you go.
Yeah, definitely all my teammates at Imperial Motorsports, Nate DeFay, Thomas Gould for coming out here supporting me and helping me out tonight. And guys that aren't here, Tim Tobridge and KT for all their help too and learning these super speedways.
All right, Scott, congratulations on your stage 1 win, man. Hopefully you'll get it done here in stage 2 and even the final stage. As I mentioned, he's someone to keep an eye on. He snuck up and won that stage right there.
Yeah, it looks like out of the two of us, you're the horseshoe, and I guess I'm the pitchfork, because anytime I mention somebody having a possibility of winning the stage or the race, it's seemed to backfire this season. So chase drivers may not want me to put my 2 cents in on that.
That's all right. All us broadcasters, we know we curse these drivers. We curse them when we pick our favorites. Why we try not to pick our favorites, but you know, it still doesn't hurt to keep your eye on a driver. An eye on that 07. An eye on that 07. The 04 is still there. The 26 is still there. And I'll tell you what.
I can't do it, KR. I'm telling you, they'll crash. I'm telling you.
Derek Conley finding a way up to the front now. All right. Well, stage 1 is done and over with. Stage 2 getting ready to kick off. For the first time on a restart, we will have new players on the front row. New player on the front row, the 07 of Scott Bellum, able to win the race off pit road, earning his spot, earning his choice of lanes. Hunter Reynolds looks like he's going to join him on the front row for this restart. Mark Mann, for the first time, finds himself behind a car for a restart. We'll see how this works out for the 04.
Yeah, just a simple, I guess, swap of positions, if you will. Those two, Scott Bellum and Mark Mann, just, you know, switching where they were running. Bellum was behind Mark Mann pretty much that entire stage there, but able to make a move and get around when it matters. Walk away with stage win and some points in his pocket. But I'm going to keep my eye, KR. I'm going to go out on a limb. Hopefully he doesn't, you know, try to shoot me after the race. But Doug Rice, haven't really spoke much about him in the past few races. But he finds himself inside the top 10. One of your chase contenders, just, you know, quietly on the scene.
All right, lights have gone out on the Ford Buttstain. That means it is going to have to hit pit road to be serviced once again. Thomas Gould in the 97. Third car on the inside row. Could he be spoiler here tonight? He looks like he has got some speed in that car. He might be able to steal a win from these chase drivers. And that's going to be big news here in the OP Racing Superspeedway Series. Non-chase driver picking up a win. That would be huge.
Not only a non-chase driver, but a rookie stealing a win in the chase. That, man, put that in your feather. Put that in your feather. Put that feather in your cap.
A feather doesn't have a lot of storage space, Dave.
Yeah, put that in your feather, buddy.
Yeah, there's I don't know how.
I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, we're excited for this playoffs. If you can't tell, we don't even know how to talk, but that's all right. Pace car is off. Scott Bellum in control of the field. Hunter Reynolds on his outside. That'll make up row number 1 for this restart. Row number 2 will be the 04 of Mark Mann and the 28 of Derek Conley as they work their way slowly through the tri-oval. And I'll tell you what, that is a long wait for these drivers. The 07 gets on the throttle. Green flag is out. We are back underway here for stage number 2. That's going to end on lap 40. These drivers get up to speed. Les Levy in the 62. Got a little bit of work cut out for him here. He tries to make his way back up to the front. The 26, the 28, they're trying to work together down the backstretch. They don't have a lot of help behind them, but it looks like they got enough momentum as they are trying to find a way to motor past the 07 of Scott Bellum.
And not sure what took place a little bit further back on the restart, but that gives us a 3-wide battle momentarily. It is now went back to a side-by-side battle back there with Tristan Walker, Doug Rice, Travis Elliott. Those drivers were making some moves, but that outside lane is suffering right now because of that restart. They haven't had very much help, but surprisingly, just those 2 cars able to hang tough out there in that second lane against a much larger, better grouped together string of cars. Down the backstretch, they will pull even, but I believe Hunter Reynolds is not going to be able to get by Scott Bellum on that inside.
Bellum leading the charge off of turn number 4 onto the front stretch. Stage 1 winner continuing to lead. Alex Green in the 15 machine working that high side, trying to make something happen as it looks like the 51 and Travis Elliott and the 15 and Alex Green thinking about the 3rd lane. Decide against it as they tuck back in. They're still only 2 wide here. The 4 of Rick Sebrans. Big moment for him as he dropped down below the yellow line. He is going to keep it going. Once again, the 51's peeking out into that 3rd lane. No one's going to go with him just yet. Now the 12 of Tristan Walker starting to join him. And then that line looks like it is fizzled out. Derek Conley in the 28 machine. Now he's leading the charge in the outside lane. Alex Green, 3rd car in the outside lane. Doug Rice, 2nd car. What's going to happen here? Alex, someone that has nothing to lose here, as he is not a chase contender for the first time in this league. He would love to play spoiler to these drivers.
Absolutely. Just like who were we just talking about a minute ago being up there as the rookie?
Thomas
Golly,
Poole.
name, there you go, Thomas. He still finds himself in 7th, but looking back, KR, there's a second pack, almost, well, now over 2 seconds back. And we have a few chase contenders back there in that. The Aston Belvin, Ken McCullough Jr., both of those chase contenders back there may have had to decide to play this thing safe from here on out until we get a little closer to the end of this thing.
Yeah, this restart really shuffled up the field, really put in a big gap between our front running drivers and a second pack starting to form up. Can that second pack join this first pack? Because we're going to go 3 wide here. We see the 51 machine of Travis Elliott trying it once again. He is going to tuck back in behind the 04 of Mark Mann. Not there just yet, but he is doing everything he can to try and make something happen in that outside lane.
Derek Connolly was able to motor on by, grab the lead. He now has Hunter Reynolds all over his rear deck lid. They're still motoring, dude. They're not giving an inch at all. Wonder if anybody's gonna think about maybe shooting a gap if it's left open. A little bit of a gap that time. They work their way off of turn 2, and it looks like Derek Connolly is going to give that position up. Doug Rice, how about that? I got it right.
Doug Rice in the 35 machine, out front for the moment. Ace contender trying to lead his first lap of the race. Looks like he's gonna get it done. The 15 machine, Alex Green, though, he might have something to say down this backstretch, as he's got a lot of cars behind him now. A lot of momentum to be built in the outer lane. Here comes the 15 and the 04.
We only have 9 laps left in the stage, so expect the pushing in business to pick up as we get closer and closer to ending this stage. What will Alex Green be willing to do to go up and steal some points or steal a stage win from these chase drivers that seem to be kind of ganging up on the rest of the field right now up at the front?
Doug Rice in the 35, gonna lead another lap, but Alex Green not quite done trying to challenge him just yet. Derek Conley in the 28, don't give that man a move to the outside. There it is, he does make that move to the outside. Conley now in front of Alex Green. He's got some momentum to the outside lane. He goes. Does he have enough to clear Doug Rice in the 35? He's gonna drop down to the inside lane. New leader, the 28 of Derek Conley, back to the front he goes.
And that was perfection when it comes to timing from the 28 of Derek Connolly. Right when you mentioned a gap, he was out there on it. And back around Doug Rice to reassume the lead as we are on lap 33 out of 94. Now beginning to see a third lane being led by Travis Elliott starting to form out there. We're down KR to 6 laps before the end of stage number 2.
Stage 2 really starting to wind down now. 51 machine, Travis Elliott once again trying the outside lane, once again tucking back in. Nobody really looking to make something happen in the outside lane. The 10 of Robert Duvendak, lap car, he's going to be a factor here as he is on that inside lane. Everyone's going to blow past him. Looks like everyone getting through cleanly, but a hold your breath moment as these drivers all try to find a way through.
An absolute like sea of green almost up there at the front, KRs. I mean, they're all right there. That's how important these stage wins are to these chase drivers. Alex Green in the 15 though, and hold on now boys, still out here too. You don't have to get around me if you want it.
This my league, I'm gonna lead a lap here, but it might be spoiled by someone that says, you know what, it might be your league, but I don't care. Derek Conley in the 28, he is gonna motor right on past. Conley back to the front. Oh, as Mark Mann, more contact with Alex Green. Doug Rice going around, Hunter Reynolds going around. Caution flag gonna come out. David Booth involved. Rick Seabrand's trying to pick his way carefully through. Josh Milam finding a hole. Anthony English in the 40 trying to squeeze through, but big time trouble. All at the end of stage number 2 here. Let's back this up a little bit. Let's see where things went wrong as we go to our Turn 3 Racing Network replay. Alex Green, Mark Mann make contact. That moves Alex Green up into Doug Rice. Doug Rice goes spinning. David Booth gets involved. Hunter Reynolds in the 26 gets involved. Take another look at that. James Mayer in the 95 getting some damage to his machine as well. final look here as we go on board with the 4 machine of Rick Seabrands. Rick hard on the brakes. Having to dodge cars left and right. Good heads up driving by the 4 machine. But race control confirming that the end of stage win will go to the 28 of Derek Conley.
And something that calling the stage at lap 36 for these guys, that's going to change the fuel mileage for the end of this thing. I don't think anybody's going to be able to stretch it like we've seen attempted, adding these couple laps into the final stage. But I noticed through all of that, KR, the 89 of Ken McCullough. I had just spoke that he was way back about 2 seconds off the pace from the leader, and him and David McCullough, that white trash racing group, just they got to that third lane that they can usually be found in, and they were right there coming up to challenge that lead pack before that caution came out. So Kenneth McCullough finding himself smelling like roses right now.
Yeah, he started deep in the field. That 89 machine finding himself inside top 10, almost into the top 5. But now let's take a moment and let's see if we can't get a word in with our stage 2 winner. That is the 28 machine of Derek Conley. Derek, you got your ears on, my friend?
Hey, how's it going, KR?
I'll tell you what, it is going great. It's the opening race of the chase. We've had a stage 1 winner. Now we have another stage winner here in stage number 2. Going to go to you in that 28 machine. Tell me a little bit about what's going on out there tonight.
I'll tell you what, this is probably the most intense race we've had of this season so far. You can probably tell by the amount of cautions we've had already and about how big they have been. You know, everybody's just trying to take that inch. Nobody right now, especially anybody that's got the green on their splitter, nobody's wanting to give that inch. And so, yeah, you just kind of got to take what you got to take and try to go out. We just got lucky and was able to be out front when that caution came out.
Well, there you are. A little bit of luck, a little bit of skill, a little bit of being in the right place at the right time put you here into stage number 2. Scott Bellum wins stage 1. You win stage 2. Same question I asked of him, I'm going to ask of you. What's it going to take to win this race here tonight?
Just being in the right place at the right time and avoiding the accident, because there's going to be quite a few more I can feel. Just because there's a lot of us out here. We got a lot on the line. It'd be great to get that first win, go ahead and move on to round 2. Everybody's kind of focused on that. And yeah, basically just avoiding any issues and trying to stay clean. Be here for the last 10 laps. That's about all I can ask for, and then we'll see how the cards look.
Now, we saw you got involved in a situation in stage 1. Did you have to use your fast repair to continue on?
Yeah, I did. I got a little greedy right there. I saw a hole, and I was like, hey, points, and ended up wrecking half the field, at least it looked like from my rear view. But I've calmed down a little bit, but yes, I did have to get the full backup car out. So I'm on my last one. I'm just going to try to take care of her and see what we can do.
All right, man. Well, good luck to you. Any other shout-outs, thank yous you'd like to give while you have this opportunity?
As always, I want to thank you all for putting on the broadcast. You all do a great job. I want to thank Alex, Cody, and Rob for everything they do, putting on the races for us. Mark Vega for doing the race control. Teammates Hunter and Josh, a couple of the best teammates I could ask for. Anytime they need a push, I'm there. Anytime I need a push, they're there. And everybody that's watching, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us. Sometimes we got some sloppy nights. Other nights we got some really good racing. So hopefully we clean this up a little bit and get y'all some exciting racing.
Now, I do have to say, speaking of sloppy, and I know you can't see it, but there is a hardcore fan for you in YouTube chat wanting me to tell you hi. None other than Randy Post. He's saying, dang, man, that ironing board holding up just fine.
Randy, my brother, how you been, buddy? No, this ironing board has got some seat belts on it now because this thing is flopping in the breeze.
All right, well, Derek, good luck to you in the rest of the race. Congratulations on picking up your stage 2 here tonight.
Appreciate it, KR. Hope to talk to you again later.
That was Fuel Sim Racing driver Derek Conley in the 28 machine, picking up the stage 2 win. Looks like he's going to have the choice restarting spot as well. Man, he's going to have a tough competitor, that 04, on his outside when they go back to green flag racing.
Noticing drivers are cutting the engines off, KR. Some of these drivers already and always, usually as a driver, that's what you're thinking about first and foremost anytime you have a chance to shut the engine off. I believe Derek has shut that engine. Looks like he's going to choose the outside lane on this restart.
Not a bad choice for Derek to pick that outside lane. We see time and time again that a lot of speed can be had in that outside lane. Once you get to the backstretch, you just have to be able to survive through turns 1 and 2 with a good run. But Conley gonna have the option of getting to that accelerator pedal of his timing. Mark Mann, it falls on him to try and make sure that he pace with the 28. So it could be a good move by the 28. We'll see if that 28, though, he likes that inside line, but he is not afraid to use the outside lane to make a pass. All right. So, with everyone trying to make a last pit stop there, we are only going to have 3 cars restarting in this outside lane for this start. Eric Conley, Thomas Gould, Rick Seabrands, 3 lone cars in the outside lane. Everyone else gave up a little bit of track position for fuel. You mentioned drivers already cut the engines out. Everyone trying to get as much fuel as they can out of these machines. It is a long way to go now to the end of the race. We're going to take the green flag at the start of lap 40. That is about 2 pit stops away from making it to the end of our scheduled distance. Eric Conley in control of the field. Mark Mann, it is his duty now to keep everyone behind him as there is a long line on the inside lane. Here we go. Green flag is out. Mark Mann doing a great job on that restart. Derek Conley looked like he got caught napping there.
Yep, Mark Mann able to pull away without any real troubles. But that outside lane is going to start to come back to him. Derek Conley with the push from Thomas Gould. So, I mean, we mentioned him earlier twice already. He's staying right up there at the front, and I believe Connolly is going to take the point back away from Mark Mann going into turn 3. That's going to leave Thomas Gould out there leading that outside lane, being pushed by, I do believe that is Scott Bellum. Yes, it is, because James Mayer in the 95 is right behind the 04 of Mark Mann. Rick Seabrands still up there lurking in the front of this field.
We go on board with the 51 and Travis Elliott. Looks like Elliott has a fan in YouTube chat, CJ Williams, saying, let's go 51. He wants to see Elliott get to the front of this thing. Elliott has a little bit of work cut out for him to get to the front, but I'll tell you what, that 51 machine, no stranger to victory lane this season, as he has picked up a couple wins this season Let's see if he can't get another one. What a statement that would make. That would grant him the most wins of the season so far. He is tied with the 4 of Rick Sebrands, both of them at 2 apiece. And both of them, when they won one, they won the next race as well.
And I don't know if it was a 3-wide look gone wrong for the 26 of Hunter Reynolds, but he falls deep into the field all the way back to 16. Thomas Gold almost had a chance to drop down in front of Derek Connolly, has chosen to stay up in that high lane. Both of the lines have about 3 to 4 cars in them grouped together. Looks like Alex Green staying just a few cars off the bumper on that outside lane. Now chooses to drop to the bottom, back to the top once again through the trioval.
Alex Green, always about trying to find the most momentum. That 15 machine, not afraid to mix it up. He has got a good little bit of momentum here. Will he continue on, or will he tuck in behind the 35 of Doug Rice? Looks like he's going to tuck in behind the 35 for the moment. But if that 51 and the 15 hook up in that third lane, they might have something to say about who is leading this race. As for the moment, it is going to the 97 of Thomas Gould. But here comes the 28 of Derek Conley on that inside lane.
Inside lane, still the place to be. Work his way around this 2.5 mile just madhouse. I know Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem has the moniker of madhouse because it's so tight and close, but this is just as big of a madhouse as any if I've ever seen it.
We still have 24 cars out on track. Unfortunately, for our car running in 24th spot, that is the 77 of David Booth. He has lost the lead draft here in stage number 3. He is in desperate need of a caution if he would like to make something happen. He is running around all by himself. He is the only car that is not in this lead pack.
Lonely territory, and he is going to be dropping like a rock the further and further these guys run without a caution. None of these guys want a caution except for that 77.
We go on board with the 62 of Les Levy, finding himself in 23rd spot right now. Started up front, all the way up into 6th place. Here he is running the farthest back he has been all night long. That 62 is struggling out there on track, but this race is not over for him. I believe that Les Levy felt that it was better to kind of drop to the back here instead of trying to mix it up front with all the cautions we have seen here in the opening stages. Stage number 3, though, he's decided to take it a little easy.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, take it easy here in the cautions in the earlier stages. Most of them were up near the front. Luckily, the leaders for the majority of the part, first, second, third, were able to miss those big wrecks. But it's kind of tough to make up your mind what to do when you want to be up front. That's where all the chaos is happening. So it's always tough to manage that. In KR, you know it as being a race car driver. It's tough to pull those reins back to get, let them horses not run as fast as they can.
Yeah, I had a rough weekend. I actually started on pole for my main event and missed the setup. Setup and the driver just weren't there, and we ended up in the middle of the pack. So I know a thing or two about driving and not driving.
I tell you who's driving. Batman. To the front of the field, takes Thomas Gold to the bottom line with him. So that's gonna make the 07 of Scott Bellum work twice as hard to get to the front. Scratch that. Derek Connolly says, I'll lead that outside lane. Coming back around to take lap 48 out of 94 here. Lead is gonna go to that 04 of Mark Mann, now leading his 19th lap of tonight's race.
Mark Mann, Thomas Gould, side by side, coming off of turn number 2. Little bit of a wiggle there. Everyone kind of scattering just a touch. We're going to start to see a third lane develop. Anthony English in the 40 going to lead that third lane right along the wall. That will include Mike Schultz in the 116, and the 52 is Sean McCarrick. Schultz, though, going to abandon it. Anthony English totally abandoned. That 40 machine now no help in the outside lane. He's going to lose a few spots here.
These guys just will not stop, KR. Look at it. Doubled up. I believe that's all the way, what, to 10th position? All right there. Throw a blanket over them. Looking at the timing and scoring it, it looks like all the way back to 14th place. Is all within about a half a second of each other. That is just, that's unreal.
Yeah, super speedway racing, the only place where you finish closer than when you started, according to the timer. Right now, everyone in the top 18 within a 1.2 second gap. Mark Mann in the 04, Thomas Gould in the 97, though they are leading their respective lanes. Once again, they head to the backstretch. Off of turn number 2, down this long Talladega stretch we go. And we are seeing a few cars now kind of fall a little bit back. That is led by the 10 of Robert Duvendak, the 84 of Aspen Belvin, the 12 machine of Trishan Walker. Those two are chase drivers. Jay Swery and the 11 machine, as they're all going to hit pit road. Green flag pit stop starting to take place here as we complete lap 50 and head on into lap 51.
Big moment at the front of the field, KR. Thomas Gould almost turned sideways in front of the field, had to go through the grass. Luckily, all these drivers able to kind of keep it straight and organized enough not to have anything bigger than that take place. Mark Mann still leading the charge. Derek Connolly out there on the outside trying to get the job done with Scott Bellum right in tow with him. Those are the only two cars up there near the front trying to challenge for that lead at this point in time. And I do believe the 7, Josh Milam, because you know what? I've seen that top lane run fast and get around. Go see if I can't get a lap or 2 left.
Milam in the 7 machine missing out on the playoffs by just a little bit. No, Josh Milam made it in. As I was saying that, I was like, that's not right. Josh Milam is a chase contender. He made it in by just a little bit. Now, since we have seen other drivers hit pit road, Derek Conley in the 28, leading the charge for the moment. How many more drivers we're going to see break away from pit lane this lap? It looks like we don't have any takers this time, but fuel tanks starting to run dry as we're going to see 3 wide racing. The 89 machine of Ken McCullough Jr. starting to make some noise with teammate of the 2, David McCullough, White Trash Racing, trying to find a way up to the front. We haven't talked about them all race long, but here we are, final stage, and they are up at front.
And there for a second, I was going to say, David McCullough dropped to that middle line. Looked like he was leaving his White Trash Racing teammate, and left just enough room for him to slide down in front of him. Now, Ken McCullough pushing the 7 of Milam. Once again, KR, White Trash. Ugh, I have such a tough time saying all that. White Trash Racing.
You could say
going 3 wide.
pigmently challenged, disposable.
You lost me.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares about being politically correct?
You got to remember, this is a guy who struggled to say Will Weber last week, so just keep that in mind.
I just struggle. It's all a struggle. All right, no one hitting pit road this time around. Robert Dubendak in the 10. He's going to move up to the high side. White Trash Racing, the 89 and the 2. Ken McCullough in the 89 going to lead his first lap of the race. Those 2 drivers going to drop down to the inside lane, and they are out front. And I'll tell you what, you can never count out the McCulloughs when they show up to a super speedway. And for the moment, they are in control of this field that looks like everyone trying to start to get single file so they can hit pit road. Maybe another lap out of these fuel tanks, but I don't know if some of these drivers are going to push it. It looks like they are not. The 89 and the 2, though, they have been able to save enough fuel that they feel they can make it another lap. We'll see if this is going to work out for him. Alex Green in the 15. He has Will Weber behind him and a lot of other cars to help build some momentum. Can they close up to the back of White Trash Racing duo Ken McCullough and David McCullough, as we have other cars on pit road? And now that only leaves 5 cars that have not made a pit stop. The 10 machine of Robert Dubendak, he is 1 lap down. He is the first car 1 lap down. He has made his pit stop a while ago. By a while ago, I mean about 5 laps. And now they are all going to hit pit road. Dubendak and Hunter Reynolds are going to stay out. They get back on the lead lap the hard way, but they will need help of a caution. But our race leaders on the pit road. And how will this play out as we try and catch up to the 04 Mark Mann as he works his way down the backstretch? He is battling with the 07 of Scott Bellum. They're working their way through 3 and 4. And I'll tell you what, these 4 cars will be up to full speed. And here comes the 89 and the 2. They're on their way off pit road onto the racing surface, but Mark Mann gonna have the speed. He's gonna get around them here through the corner, but that is gonna be a close blend for White Trash Racing.
Yeah, and I was very worried about Dubendak and Hunter Reynolds when we seen those leaders come around and put them a lap down. I'm still worried about them because they are a good ways back, over 12 seconds back right now. That's going to be a ton to make up. Looks like we're going to have a battle for the race lead here. And then the next lap, KR, things are starting to heat up.
Mark Mann in the 04, starting to close the gap to the 62 of Les Levy. The 2 of David McCullough, the 89 of Ken McCullough. Gonna make a move to the outside here. The McCulloughs able to get on and off pit road and retain the lead. They have proven that they are able to get a little bit more out of their tank time and time again. Les Levy moves up to the high side, breaking up the momentum in the outer lane just a hair. That is gonna allow the 28 of Derek Conley to the inside. As I mentioned, don't leave a gap for Conley to make a move to the outside. He is going to slide up in front of the 62. And so now Derek Conley trying to make something happen in the outside lane. Ken McCullough, though, in the 89, wearing the green strap across his front splitter. The 2 machine running the blue and yellow, very familiar with Wrangler paint scheme. He has one job out here. He is playing second fiddle to his teammate. But I have talked to White Trash Racing time and time again. They say they don't care who wins as long as it is someone out of their team.
Just then, looks like Les Levy goes to the bottom before Derek Connolly has a chance to get there. Now he's leading that inside lane with McCullough pushing him. Connolly finds himself with the 04 Mark Man now pushing on his rear bumper. Like the 95 of James Mayer has elected to go to the outside lane. Scott Bellum out there with those 3 cars. Those 4 on the outside hanging strong with a string of cars on the bottom.
Working lap 60 of 94. Drivers will have to make another pit stop before the end of this thing. And Les Levy in the 62, not making it into the chase. One of the drivers that was kind of on the bubble of making it, unable to do so, took it hard, but he came back and said, I may not have made the chase, but I still want to win a race this season. And here he is. That 62 is out front for the moment as the 89 gonna make a move to the outside.
Yeah, the 89 of Kenneth McCullough jumping to that outside lane and begin to move towards the front. So much for teammates, especially when you're out for a championship. You know, you got to do what you got to do at the end of the day.
Eric Conley in the 28 on the outside of the 89 of Ken McCullough Jr. These 2 drivers, very seasoned, very talented drivers on super speedway tracks. What do they have in store? Who can they keep behind them? Mark Mann in the 04, running the Batmobile. Second car in the outside lane. James Mayer in the 95. Don't count him out. He has had a quiet but solid season. That 95 machine is going to be someone to have to deal with in the later stages of this race, as long as he's got 4 tires underneath him.
And it looks like at the tail end of this little pack there, looks like Mike Schultz. And I believe, heck, who is that? I believe that's
John McCarrick.
Yeah, that is McCarrick. I wasn't sure if I was reading it right. I was like, really? It's McCarrick out there with him? Not used to seeing McCarrick go 3 wide. That's why I was second guessing what I was seeing. They were thinking about 3 wide. They are 3 wide right now. Falling back just a little bit. Gonna fall in line, I believe, here back to that middle lane. So back to 2 wide racing. 63 laps in. Whew. You get tires, KR, if you pit. Did you get tires? You're going to be about 14, 15 laps short, so you need a full tank. What are you thinking here?
If you need a full tank of fuel, it is a marginal amount of time to get tires. If I'm a leader, I've kind of boxed myself in. I want to retain the lead. I want to be on and off pit road as fast as possible, so I may not take tires if I am a leader. If I'm someone kind of in the back of the pack, I want to go with a little bit of a different strategy than anyone else. 4 tires might happen if I'm not leading this thing.
And once again, the little rookie that could out there on the outside, them 2 getting it done. Trying to inch closer and closer towards the front of this pack. Utilizing that 3rd lane, Mike Schultz. Colin McCarrick. I seen him make some gains. They fall back. It's I don't know. It's like a courting and or a yo-yo, KR. They make it up almost to where Scott Bellum is, and then they kind of fade back away just a little bit. A lot of moves being made up there at the front. And McCullough is leading the field. Drops down to the bottom now. That's going to leave the outside to Derek Connolly. once again with Markman still pushing him, just not able to get by and take the lead.
Do want to point out we have two groups out there for the moment. The second group being led by the 35 machine, Doug Rice. He is working with the 97 of Thomas Gould. These guys have fallen off of this lead pack. They have enough drivers to stay up to speed, so to speak. So they are going to need help from a caution, but they also need to stay single file. They all need to try and work together and close that gap as much as possible, because if there is one thing about super speedway racing, if you need a caution, you will not get it. If you don't want a caution, you will get it.
But I wonder what we're going to get, because I know those guys up front, they do not want to see one. But those guys in that second pack, as you said, KR, they want to see one. So, I don't know. Personally, I want to see this thing go green to the end. Interested to see if everybody's able to have a smooth second green flag pit stop. And if they don't, what's that going to allow that second pack to do? How much distance are they going to close? Because, I mean, they have pitted at about the same time as most of these front runners, so fuel strategy isn't going to be that much different for them. So, I mean, that's one way they're going to be able to make up time. But as proven, most of these guys, no issues on and off pit road with their first green flag pit stop. But that doesn't matter when it comes down to the money stop.
David Booth in the 77, staying in the outside lane. He is going to go his second lap down. The 23rd racing spot goes to Aspen Belvin, as once again we see some more green flag pit stops happening. Aspen Belvin, first car and only car in the one lap down category. 22 cars on the lead lap for the moment. Got off to a rough start, but we have been green flag racing this entire time here in stage number 3. These drivers know what is on the line. Everyone was fighting hard at the start of this race. Now it looks like they have decided that they are going to try and take advantage of others' mistakes. That means you kind of just got to ride around and wait for something to happen.
And I'm concerned now. I don't know the reasoning behind pitting when those few drivers did. I don't think they're going to be able to make it to the end on fuel from pitting from this lap. So maybe they're banking on having a caution come out. I just don't see how those guys are going to stretch it far enough to get to the end of this thing.
Eric Conley in the 28 machine. For the moment, he has the lead. He has the 89 of Ken McCullough pushing behind him. McCullough, though, going to move to the outside lane. It's the 62 of Les Levy had a good run. McCullough thought he would take advantage of it, and he is trying to. Can McCullough come around and lead this one? He is going to get it done. For the 89, another lap led for him. That makes 10 laps on the night for the 89 machine. But Derek Conley not done just yet, as the 2 machine of David McCullough going to try and push him. Once again, as I have mentioned, the White Trash Racing boys, they are all for team racing. As long as one of their drivers wins it, it does not matter to them whether it's playoffs or not. They want to be in victory lane.
And that's what I was waiting to see out of that 2 of David McCullough. He pushed Derek just enough to start to create a gap, and that allowed him to jump right outside with his teammate. Now, David McCullough leading that outside lane with the lead in hand. Teammate right behind him, Les Levy in tow as well. most of the cars are running single file here. I do anticipate this group coming to pit road, I would say, KR, in the next probably 3 to 4 laps. So I don't see any jockeying for position just yet with that outside lane. They haven't given up a fight just yet. So there we see cars coming to pit road.
Derek Conley making the break for pit road. Once again, we see the 2 and the 89 going to stay out there. The 62 of Les Levy going to join them. But these 3 cars now have got to turn a great lap here, as they will be down on speed from a full pack, but they are able to go a little bit further than everyone else. You never know what that can translate to at the end of a race. Having the fuel in the tank is always an option, or always opens up more options for you. But yeah, we're gonna see if they hit pit road this time, and it looks like they come down pit road. Once again, the 2, the 89, the 62, able to get a further lap on the field than anyone else. Doug Rice, though, he is going to come around and take over the top spot if he does not pit, and he is going to make a break for pit road. Aspen Belvin in the 84 machine, he is 2 laps down, so he is going to cycle around all by himself right now. Aspen Belvin in a bit of a tough spot here. No help from the rest of the field. Les Levy, fuel only in that 62 machine, gets rolling. The 2 machine already out there. The 89 a little bit slower. It looks like Ken McCullough decided to take 2 tires and fuel to see if he can get caught up to these drivers. But here comes the 28 of Derek Conley and the 07 of Scott Bellum. They have already been on and off pit road, and they are trying to make some noise as they head to the backstretch.
In the group of 4 cars that pitted a little bit earlier, Levitt, Elliott, Walker, Barry, those drivers starting to cycle to the front. Not quite able to get all the way to the front, but there you see them just behind the leaders now. So looks like they picked up a little bit of ground by pitting when they did.
Scott Bellum, the 07 machine, our stage 1 winner and the lead for the moment. But Derek Conley making a move to the outside. He's got James Mayer trying to catch up to his back bumper. The 40 machine of Anthony English, 1 lap down, trying to help out the 07 of Scott Bellum. Can he be a factor in this race? As we are looking at just about 20 laps to go here in our opening race of the playoffs. Now we have 3 distinct lines, very solid 3 lines, as that 3rd lane being led by Cody Levitt in the 38. The 51 machine trying to stay in the outer lane. He likes that high side just as much as the White Trash Racing crew.
And it looks like now that they've caught those leaders, they're just going to opt to go to the middle lane. Just as I say that, James Mayer decides to take the lane to the outside. That's going to hang Connolly in the center. He does have help coming to him now in the form of Elliott and Walker and Barry. That was a bold move. Now that field believes them, goes to the inside lane, and that is going to leave Connolly out high and dry.
Scott Bellum in the 07 on the inside lane. He might come around and lead another lap. James Mayer in the 95 might have something to say about it. Can't get there in time. So Bellum gonna lead that lap, but Mayer has the lead. Will he drop down to the inside lane? No, he's not gonna clear the 07 just yet. Mark Mann in the 04 gonna keep pushing that 95 machine as they head down the backstretch. Side by side they go. The 51 all by himself in that 3rd lane. Now he's going to tuck down in behind the 28 of Derek Conley. That 51 keeps trying to peek out, but no one seems to be willing to try that outer lane just yet and really make a hard run from that third lane.
Yeah, why all this action and Mayer to the bottom, taking over the race lead on the bottom. Mark Mann now leading that outside lane. As I was going to say before, that move to the bottom by Mayer was Kenneth McCullough, Alex Green, and the 116 of Mike Schultz have been creeping up on this lead pack. Now they've caught them. They are there, and the battle for the lead is only going to intensify with the more cars that we have up front. Now you see Connolly leading the train on the inside lane. He was able to take the lead back with a push from the 04 of Mark Mann. They come off of turn 4, back to the line. Looks like Mayer's looking to go back to that outside lane again.
Mayer might have the momentum this time as he goes across the line. Your race leader, the 95 machine of James Mayer. Working with the 04 Mark Mann. Mayer gonna drop down to the inside. Derek Conley now the second car in the inside lane. How's he gonna handle that? Will he push the 95, make a run, and try and get a momentum builder where he can move to the outside and then drop down to the inside? Not this time around. The 28 gonna be stuck behind the 95. But Mark Mann in the 04 finding himself now leading the middle lane. He has the 51 working with him. But White Trash Racing, David McCullough, Ken McCullough Jr. on that outside lane. Can they make something happen as they head through the tri-oval to the stripe? It will be Mayer once again, but the duo of the 2 and the 89 hard-charging drivers finding a way back to the front.
Found their way back to the front and around the 04 of Mark Mann, who's now the third car in the second lane. You have some cars just up in front of your race leaders that they're going to have to navigate their way around. And KR, you can see it. The moves are getting quicker. The space is getting smaller. These guys are taking a little bit more chances, a little bit more risk. All on the line. We come around to this time in lap 80 out of 94, so only about 15 laps left to decide who gets to go down as chase race number 1 winner.
Chase contender winning chase race number 1 relieves pressure on them, locking themselves into round number 2. Makes a solid statement to the rest of the field, and it also sets up a situation where the driver could win all the races in a round, making everyone else scramble for points. We do have a few drivers breaking for pit road. One of those is the 12 of Trishan Walker, chase contender, hitting pit road for what could be the final time here tonight. The 12 machine on pit road, this 38 of Cody Levitt, 51 of Travis Elliott. Hunter Reynolds also trying to cycle around. I thought he was on pit road and he was just passing these guys. So we're going to watch the 10 and the 26 for a moment, just so I don't look like I don't know what I'm talking about.
You know what you're talking about, you just don't realize what you're seeing sometimes. I get a little cross-eyed too.
Derek Conley in the 28 does not hit pit road this time. That is... he does not have enough fuel. This pack of drivers do not have enough fuel to make it to the end. So when will they hit pit road for what could be their final pit stop? 89 and the 2 have been able to go an extra lap over everyone else here tonight. When will they come onto pit road? They continue to run that outer lane for the moment. it might be a moment to try and catch our breath.
Yeah, I'm trying to do some fuel strategies for a couple of guys in different spots around the track. And looking at it now, KR, I think everybody's going to have to stop. I was really looking at that 35 of Doug Rice running in 14th position. He's only been out there this run for about 10 laps. We've got right at about 10 to go. So it's going to be really, really close for him, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to stretch it. But as we've seen before, caution changes, all that throws it all out of the window, and you never know what you're going to get if this thing gets rooted back up for a caution. So gonna be interested to see how many gallons of fuel these guys take, how quick they are on and off pit road.
One driver who can make it the scheduled distance, that is the 11 of Chase Query. He is leading a group of drivers to make it to the end of this race. That includes the 51 of Travis Elliott, 12 of Tristan Walker, 15 of Alex Green. Alex Green, though, he is a little bit behind these guys as we see him on the track. These drivers here can make it to the end. Will this play into their favor? It all comes down to how it plays out as we got more drivers on the pit road. That is the 04 of Mark Mann, the 28 of Derek Conley, James Mayer, Rick Sebrands, Mike Schultz, all these drivers on the pit road this time.
Yeah, and the McCullough boys, they stay out on track at least one lap longer than the rest of the field. Still kind of looking at Doug Rice and Thomas Gold back there. They got a little bit separated. We're on the caution, KR.
We are under caution, and I am not 100% sure what it is for, but maybe the 84 of Aspen Belvin has found some problems here. Looks like he was slow. Try and see if we can figure out what happened to the 84 as he is sideways down the backstretch. Take one more look at it. Oh, and this was Chase Berry. This group of drivers who could make it to the end. These four drivers had enough fuel. Chase Berry goes into the outside wall, sends Aspen Belvin hard to the inside wall. And Chase Berry, who was looking like he had enough fuel to make it to the end of this thing, he gets pointed in the wrong direction. And that is not something you want to see, especially with the 51. Just a bad bump at the wrong time is going to bring out a caution here tonight, and it is really going to throw this field into a tizzy.
That it is. We see a couple of our chase contenders being caught a lap down. Cody Levitt is caught a lap down. Hunter Reynolds is caught a lap down. Aspen Belvin is now 3 laps down. But that's going to put them in a precarious situation. Most of them had already made their pit stop, so they may be able to receive the wave around. But KR, that throws everything out the window, just like I said it would.
Yep, the 2, the 89, the 07, and the 62 all on pit road. Looks like several other drivers going to join them as well. See how this plays out. How everything shakes out. So while we wait for the field to reset, guys, we're going to step away for a moment. We'll let everything settle down, and we'll be back with our starting lineup for what could be the final restart as we have 8 laps to go in our scheduled distance here tonight.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got him 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as this caution thrown everyone's strategies out the window. This field is completely tossed up in the air. Everyone is kind of landed in a spot here and there. Christian Walker in the 12 machine will assume the lead. 15 Alex Green on his inside for this restart. Row number 2, we'll see the 95 of James Mayer and the 04 of Mark Mann. And can't break from tradition, despite it being playoffs. Might show favoritism, but Mark Mann, this one's for you, buddy.
What? No Batman KR? Come on, man.
I was drinking. Gosh, let me sip this thing. It's cold. It was fresh. Batman. The rusted metal, Batman. All right, field is getting set. We will have 5 laps to go when the green flag comes out. We will see 20 cars on the lead lap. Anthony English in the 40 car, the first and only car 1 lap down in this field. We have 22 cars out on track. Chase Berry in the 11 machine. This last incident has put him permanently on pit road. He does not think he's going to be able to make it back out there. Aspen Belvin in the 84, also another victim of this caution. Looks like he is unable to continue. Belvin, a chase runner, he will be scored with the least amount of points here tonight of our chase drivers, if he cannot get back out there. Had a rough race in the 84 machine, one that he would like to have back. But here we go, folks. We're getting ready to go green flag racing, what could be our final restart of the night. Christian Walker, Alex Green, James Mayer, Mark Mann. That makes up your first 2 rows as they have that long wait for the green flag here at Talladega. And the flagman proudly displays the green flag. We are back underway here at Talladega as they head off into turns 1 and 2. These guys know what is on the line. 5 laps to get it done. Who will it be? Has Alex Green in the 15. He has that sniff of fresh air, that sniff of a race win. Do not count out the 15 here tonight as we got cars sideways, including the 15 of Alex Green. Derek Conley going around. The 12 of Tristan Walker able to clear all of it. And he is going to come out smelling like roses as the 12 machine is able to avoid the mayhem. And he will inherit the best start or restart or whatever. That 12 machine got away with one right there. Holy cow. Let us back that up a little bit here as we go to our turn 3 instant replay and see exactly what happened here. Down the backstretch they go. The 15, the 95, the 28 of Derek Conley trying to make a move to the outside lane. The 95 and the 12 move up a little bit. Unfortunately, Conley was there. Conley's going to go spinning. The 07 of Scott Bellum goes around. Go on board with the 28 for this shot here. Makes the move to the outside, gets his nose clear of the 95. The 12 is going to try and move up, and the 95, not knowing that the 28 is on his outside. And around they go. That is heavy damage on the 28 machine of Derek Conley. And once again, we're under yellow after a very brief green flag position there. Man, oh man, what a restart that was. And we could be looking at our first attempt at a green-white checkered.
Yeah, KR, I don't think they're going to get this one restarted before we would have to implement the green-white checkered. What that's going to do, though, that's going to shake up the very front of this field. Going to only have Tristan Walker and James Mayer that are in the chase hunt. Up there inside the top 5, Josh Milam and Doug Rice find themselves back in 6th and 7th. Travis Elliott, also a chase contender, running in 9th. Cody Levitt able to go and find himself rounding out the top 10. But things are not looking the way they were.
One driver that was appreciative of that yellow, the 40 machine of Anthony English. He is going to get the free pass. He gets back on the lead lap. That puts him in contention to win this thing. But it will be a green-white checkered attempt here. It will be our first one. And any driver on the lead lap has the opportunity to win the race.
And now, KR, all strategy, all caution, hopefully we don't get another caution, but all caution is basically thrown to the wind here. I mean, you're just, you hit the loud pedal and you never lift. That's it. You 2 laps and you either bring it home or you're on a rollback. At least that's my position.
Yeah, in a green-white checkered, and everyone, as I look at last time on pit road, looks as if they will have enough fuel in the tank to survive all the attempts at a green-white checkered that we will have. Christian Walker, if we go to our final available attempt at a green-white checkered, would be the only one I'd be concerned about. But he is in control of the field right now. That might do him a little bit of favor. At 12 machine, though, he's going to be someone that wants to see this go to checkered flag after this first attempt.
And I don't know what to expect, KR. I really have no clue what is about to happen. And I don't know that if I could know what was going to happen, if I'd want to. I think we're going to see some of the craziest action we've seen all night. And I'm not so sure we won't get that second green-white checker.
If there's one thing that I know about racing, and it is that you get into a green-white checkered attempt, everyone full on into take mode, very little give, very, very little give. We might see another white checkered attempt, but this, I'll tell you what, I am, if I was a driver out there, I'd be doing everything I could to control my breathing right now. And I say that because I am just broadcasting this race. I'm just up here in the announcing booth, and I'm trying to control my breathing because I don't know what's going to happen next.
The only thing I can guarantee is the pace car is going to break again.
Yeah, those lights will come out on that stupid. Alright. Looking at some of our cars here, 95 of James Mayer. Looks like he got quite a bit of damage on the front end and the back end of that thing. That is going to affect several of the cars behind him. He will not be able to cut through the air as nicely as he would like. How that will affect the cars that are in this restart behind him can't be good. Lights go out on the pace car. The 12 machine selecting the outside lane. Mayer is going to restart on the inside. Les Levy in the 62. The inside of row number 2. New machine of David McCullough outside row number 2. Row number 3 will be Mike Schultz in the 116 and the 7 of Josh Milam. Row 4, the 35 of Doug Rice. The 52 of Sean McCarrick. Dave, lights go out. It's time to go racing.
Yes, it is. These drivers thinking one thing and one thing only, and that's victory lane. If I'm a chase contender, I can guarantee you are not gonna pass me. You are either going to wreck me or finish behind me. If I am either that 95 of James Mayer or Tristan Walker, and that's just the absolute way it would be if I was either of those two drivers. No, I'm not going to allow it. you're going to have to take it from me like you're taking the last chicken wing off my plate. It ain't going to happen.
Christian Walker in the 12 assumes control of the field as the pace car peels off. James Mayer in the 95, a little bit of damage. How will this affect his run up to speed? Les Levy tucked in behind the 95. These two drivers gonna have to work through this little bit of situation that they got, but it is not entirely impossible as we work through the trioval down to the start finish line. First attempt at a green white checkered. Here we go. Green flag is out. Drivers on the loud pedal. Time to go and get it done as they head off into turn number 1. David McCullough in the 2 on the back bumper of the 12. Pushing hard. Josh Milam in the 7. Looking to capitalize on anything that he can as he sits in that third row outside lane. Down the backstretch they go. The 12 machine clearly has the spot on the 95, but does not give himself to the inside lane. Sean McCarrick in the 52 and the 38 of Cody Levitt in the outside lane as they work their way around. Should we see the white flag here, that will seal it, and it will be one more time around. The 12 machine leading through the trioval. Does he have enough for one more lap?
One more time around to decide who wins chase race number 1. Will it be a chase contender? Will somebody make a move? Will Les Levy, will David McCullough Jr. make a move to try to take over the lead? Will that outside lane get there by the time they get back to the front stretch? 3 wide down the back stretch going into turn 3. David McCullough has dropped to the bottom. That leaves only one chase contender at the front of this pack. Christian Walker trying to hold on with all he's got. McCullough with the edge off the corner. Back through the trioval. They are side by side. No clear-cut advantage for either driver yet. Push coming from Milam. He goes around. He spins. Walker's going to cross the line and take race win number 1 in the chase. Punching his ticket. Duvendak hard contact after the fact. He's going to punch his ticket to the next round. Crazy finishing in KY.
Christian Walker winning the race here tonight in round 1 of the playoffs. David McCullough in the 2 machine gonna cross the line in second place, sideways, backwards, all sorts of out of shape, and Josh Milam finishing third. Those are our top 3 drivers here in the OP Racing Superspeedway Series chase race number 1. But your race winner is going to be the 12 of Christian Walker as he comes around on the cool down lap to celebrate his victory. And what a victory it was. He was able to weather the storm of that green white checkered. And let's back it up a little bit as he celebrates. We'll watch him celebrate. But man, I'll tell you, coming to that checkered flag, everything went haywire. Well, let's see what we can catch here in our instant replay. As we back it up, drivers working their way down the backstretch. The 2 machine of David McCullough makes a move to the inside line. The 7 of Josh Milam stays behind the 12. They work their way through 3 and 4 for the final time. The 51 machine of Travis Elliott trying to find somewhere to make some noise. They head onto the front stretch down through the trioval. You see the 7 hard on the back bumper of the 12. The 51 trying to squeeze in and make anything happen that he can. And that's where everything went wrong. Several drivers going around. But Christian Walker able to come out with the race win. But guys, we're going to step away for a minute and set up our post-race show. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are in our post-race show, and we have caught up with our race winner. That is the 12 machine of Tristan Walker. He crossed the start-finish line as mayhem broke out behind him. Tristan Walker, you win the opening race of the playoffs, pitting yourself into round number 2. Tell us a little bit about your race out there tonight.
Well, it didn't start good. I had to use a fast repair 10 laps in. And then about 30 laps in, I went 10 RPMs down. So I finished the race and won with 10 RPMs down inside the car. I just thank God for Josh pushing me. He didn't have to, but he did. He chose to. I thank him. I thank the broadcast, you guys, everybody.
That 12 machine now has a little bit of weight lifted to make it into round 2. But are you going to try and continue this and win the next 2 races?
I think now it's all about helping other people, like my teammates and affiliates such as FSR. And yeah.
All right, man. Well, great win out there tonight. Any final shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Josh, Alex for putting on the league, Robert, Cody, my teammates at JSI, Travis, Chase, Cody, Jacob. Who else did I miss? A bunch of other people I want to thank. Josh, again, thank you for the push. And indeed, I did win.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up your interview with the word of indeed. Nice job out there. Definitely got it done tonight.
Have a good one, KR.
That was Tristan Walker winning the opening round of the playoffs. Now it's time to move on to our second place finisher. That is David McCullough. And Dave Worrell, I believe, has caught up with him here tonight.
Actually, KR, David had some prior obligations to get to. I was able to actually maneuver my way a little bit further down pit road and pick up with Josh Milam. So Josh, a heck of a finish out there. 3rd place. Tell us a little bit about your night.
Oh, it's been a long night. We'll start off, used the fast repair earlier due to a wreck. I think I got into 2 accidents. So I was kind of saving the car all race, hoping for this exact finish that I had tonight. It was awesome getting the chance to group back up with the pack because I once fell off after a pit stop and figured I had no chance. I was just going to come away with a top 15 maybe. But that ending there, all I knew was the guy dropped below Tristan, and I just stuck it to his bumper and pushed him across the finish line.
So at any given time there, Josh, did you think about leaving him? Did you think about, well, if I go, I can punch my ticket to the next round and then kind of play it nice and easy or however I want over the next few races in this round?
Well, as I saw David drop on the bottom there on that back stretch there, and as I was creeping in on Tristan there, I knew I couldn't take him high. I've been fighting aero damage the entire night. I didn't have the speed. I know that the only way I could have even had the chance of winning was if I got Tristan out far enough and I was able to drop below him, or he ended up dropping to try to block the bottom line. But unfortunately, that didn't happen, which is okay. I'll take 3rd place. And I didn't come away with the win, but we'll come back next week and hope for the best.
All right, yeah, I was gonna mention gotta take a good points day. I mean, you are the highest chase finisher behind the race winner Tristan Walker, so gotta kind of take that for what it's worth. Gonna put you in a little bit better spot as we continue to move on. But before we let you go here, once again, congratulations. Would you like to give any shout out to any of the viewers?
Yeah, definitely all the friends that's come out and was watching the broadcast tonight. I think mentioned the name Dustin, our buddy Austin. Also, all the FSR guys here, the JSI guys, you guys for putting on the broadcast. The entire OP community here that comes out and races on 3 nights a week that we race. So appreciate you guys a lot.
Well, Josh, congratulations on that third place finish representing the Fuel Sim Racing. Got it done out here tonight. A little bit sideways as he crossed the start finish line, but he wasn't the only driver finding trouble out there tonight. What a race we saw, guys. What a spectacular event it was. Kicking off the playoffs as only the OP Racing Superspeedway can. They put on a show here tonight. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. Nothing left now but to go through our final results as we check in. Tristan Walker, your race winner. David McCullough, unable to join us for the post-race interview. That's all right. We understand that things happen. He finished second. Third place, final step on the podium, going to Josh Milam. Mike Schultz in the 116. He's going to finish fourth. Travis Elliott will finish fifth. Les Levy in the 62 machine finishing sixth. Seventh place going to Hunter Reynolds in the 26. James Mayer bringing it home in eighth. Ninth will be the 07 of Scott Bellum. Doug Rice finishing 10th. Sean McCarrick 11th. 12th will be Cody Levitt. Rick Seabrands finishing in 13th spot. 14th going to Mark Mann. Rounding out your top 15 will be the 10 of Robert Duvendak. Alex Green finishing in 16th. 17th place going to Thomas Gould. 18th will be Anthony English, who was able to get back on the lead lap, took advantage of that situation and got a few more positions. Eric Conley able to finish 19th place. 20th going to Will Weber. 21st will be David Booth in the 77 machine. Ken McCullough Jr. in the 89 will finish 22nd. Aspen Belvin scored in 23rd. So two chase contenders finishing outside 20th spot. They have set themselves in a bit of a hole to dig out of here very early on in the playoffs. Chase Swery finishing 24th. 25th going to Nate DeFayette. 26th will be Cody Ober. David Overstreet finishing 27th. And as always, very special thank you to Mark Vega. He was our race admin here tonight as we have wrapped up this race. Oh man, I'll tell you what, for myself and Dave Worrell, what a race we saw out here tonight. Can only look forward to next week, round number 2 of the playoffs at Daytona International Speedway. 100 laps taking place next Monday night right here at Turn 3 Racing Network. Guys, if you'd like to join this league, make sure you find them in the iRacing League tabs. Look up OP Racing Superspeedway Series. They do have other series that runs on Wednesday and Saturday. And the league is going through a bit of restructuring for their next season. So stay tuned as we announce the things that are coming forward with the OP Racing. Big changes coming. Good moves on the league admin's part. This league continues to grow. And if you are interested in getting out here, we want to see you. We want to showcase your talent. And oh man, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what a race we saw here tonight. So make sure you tune in next Monday night for round 2 of the playoffs. Guys, thank you for joining us. And as always, we're going to leave you with a video provided to us by Derek Conley that he put together. And we will sign off until next Monday night. Have a good night.
Warning, the following stunts are performed by idiots or under the supervision of stupider idiots. If you attempt to reenact any of these idiotic stunts you will see, You will be left with idiotic scars. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Alex Green. Welcome to OP Racing.